Hey everybody, welcome back to another installment of things we bought yesterday and today. It's been a while for me to do one. I know Tom's done one recently. We had our record store day videos, which we posted on our channel, and I posted on my offshoot channel, Andy's Music Vault. So thank you those who checked that out. Um, Today's going to be an interesting one for me. Just going to go over a couple of quick things that I've had in the collection for quite a while. And this week we're going to focus on two items. The mini LP replicas from Japan. I've got a handful that I've gathered over the years. I really enjoy them. And I'm going to show off a couple of, club sandwiches. And I don't have a full collection of club sandwich, but the ones that I have, I'm very, very, grateful that I have them. And I'll kind of get into that in a minute, but I'll just kind of go through the LPs. I've gotten these over the years from various vendors, stores. Some of them I bought in Liverpool at the Beatles store, the one at the Hard Day's Night Hotel. They had a couple of them that I bought there, and I love how they're made because you get the Japanese obi strip or obi strip, however you like to say it. And I've often thought, as Rubber Soul, that if CDs when they first kind of came out in the '80s, if they were made this way, and kind of a little more true to the vinyl, that would have been really cool instead of the jewel cases, but would they have lasted? But I don't have a full complement. Obviously, you have the US albums now and the Capitol albums, Volume 1 and 2, which I have, but these ones are directly from Japan. Let It Be, which you can see here. Again, more of a novelty thing to collect than play. The Lennon ones are really done very well. You even get the writing on the side. I don't know if you can see it there. And the inserts, obviously, this has the OBI strips as well, but I just took them off and put them in there. You get all the booklets replicated in here as well. And obviously the CD is replicated there with the label of the original LP. The Lennon ones I really thought were really done well. Sonically, they sound very good. Imagine, obviously, as well, from Japan. Same concept. My personal favorite Lennon album, Mind Games, in here as well. Walls and Bridges, Japanese with the flaps, replicating the original 1974 album. And all the books and stuff are in here. Rock and Roll. And again, these are the original album. These aren't the bonus track ones that were done in the early 2000s. This is the album as originally intended as well. Although not in this case, I don't think, especially in Rock and Roll. This has the 2005 bonus tracks on this Japanese edition. So you've got Angel Baby, To Know Her Is to Love Her, Since My Baby Left Me. So this would actually mimic the ones, that 2005 reissue of Rock and Roll, which is actually the superior one, in my opinion. I love that those bonus tracks are on there. Kind of a couple of Paul ones. An interesting one, an album we just did an episode about. This is the Tug of War mini LP replica. But very curiously, on this version, you've got a couple bonus tracks on here that really are out of place with the rest of the album. So they're not listed on the back of the cover properly, but when you go into the book and you play the CD, you've got 3 bonus tracks that are not associated with this album, but they're on here. When you go to the booklet, you see, and you can see there was the bonus tracks, Back on My Feet, Flying to My Home, and Loveliest Thing. Why these were put on Tug of War, I'll never know. They should really obviously rightfully belong with Flowers in the Dirt. But interesting, even on the book, where they reproduce all the Tug of War lyrics, they actually went through the trouble to put the lyrics to the bonus tracks. So you see the lyrics to Loveliest Thing on there as well. Oddly paired with Tug of War. I'll never understand that one being on there. Back to the Egg, mini Japanese. Again, they're just the attention to detail is always amazing. And okay, you all know one of my favorites, London Town, which I forget where I got this. I don't know if this was in Arizona as well. Maybe not. One of the first ones I ever got, actually, probably, God, where was it? I was at an HMV, I think, probably early 2000s. Pipes of Peace, Gatefold. this is the first time I was like, wow, first time I'd seen a CD, a McCartney CD, redone, in an album format. And that was just awesome to see. And this, of course, had the same bonus tracks on it as the 1993 as well. But just, yeah, I couldn't believe seeing it. I was like, gotta have it. Didn't really care, but snapped them up at the time. So, and this isn't a mini LP, but I had it in there in my collection anyway. That's this Once Upon a Long Ago CDV, which is CD video. I got this at a fest a couple of years back. So it's a CD video of Once Upon a Long Ago, but again, it's from Japan, so that's probably why I had it grouped with all the other stuff. But I can't play it. It's not a DVD, and it doesn't. The tracks come up if I play it, if I put it in as a CD, but it's a CD video. So if anybody out there has this and has successfully played it, what did you play it on? And I'm sure it's just the videos for Once Upon a Long Ago, and maybe the few rocking ones that are on there as well. See, it says audio part and video part. So the audio part I've been able to play, but never been able to play the video part. So if anybody has this, please tell me how you played it. Okay, diving into the club sandwiches. I owe a real great debt of gratitude to my former professor, Mike Brocken, Dr. Michael Brocken from Liverpool Hope University. Mike was my tutor in Liverpool, and he gave me this stack of club sandwiches for my dissertation. And those of you who aren't aware, I wrote my dissertation in Liverpool on wings, and trying to prove that there was a kind of an anti-Paul wings bias in the 1970s rock mainstream journalism scene. And I needed all the kind of periodicals and articles I could get my hands on from the 70s. Now, obviously, club sandwiches are very pro-Paul. Obviously, they're done by Paul. But I think he also didn't want them. So he was like, he goes, he'll take them, right? And of course I did. And again, we had Dale Pants on an episode of Two Legs, and he has the complete collection. And mine, again, I only have probably a dozen. But I'm very, very grateful to Mike for giving me these all those years ago, because they're just so great to have. Hard to store because they're so bulky, but you can't get rid of them. So I'm just going to run through them real quick. I can't show them all because they're so big and bulky, but I'll show you the covers of all and the backs of all of them. And the earliest one I have going back is issue number 18, and that's from 1980. And this is the sandwich spread, all picture issue. This is before John passed away, obviously. So this is the earliest one I have, issue number 18. Some of them you'll notice too over the years, especially in the early days. Dale told us this. They were much more smaller in size, and then as the 80s and 90s went on, they became really big. Well, that was a big one. Here's one. Here's issue number 20 from 1980 as well. See, a little more smaller. Linda wins first prize at Cannes, which I believe was for Seaside Woman, which of course it was. That was for So this episode was all about Seaside Woman. In here, again, a little smaller. Summer of 1980. News from Wings, yeah, because they were still active in 1980, but what were they doing? Issue number 21, all still 1980, Buddy Holly Week. Okay, obviously this issue all about Buddy Holly Week, which MPL put on every September, and yeah, all about holidays, everything in here about Buddy Holly Week. Next one, Christmas 1980. This is issue number, what is this one? 22. Yep. So, and again, looks like we have a little on the back here talking about the Ziegfeld premiere. The Ziegfeld, for all you people, you New Yorkers, you know what the Ziegfeld is. That was a very famous theater. And this is a little bit of a write-up how Rock Show was premiered at the Ziegfeld on November 26th, 1980. So, of course, the next one is one of the most famous issues of Club Sandwich. It's just the one on John, which I believe Dale said was his favorite as well. Issue number 23, 1981. Obviously a special issue and a keepsake for sure. If you have it, you fans have it. You know, all the photos that Linda took of John and Paul and more are in this issue. Very special. Then we kind of get into my favorite kind of period of the ones that I have. Seems like in the flurry of 82 and 83, they just issued a ton of club sandwiches. Obviously with Tug of War and the videos and all the activity and partnering up with Stevie and Michael Jackson, there was going to be a lot of stuff to cover. And boy, did they cover it. You've got really, really big issues over the next few issues here. One issue here, just totally on Ebony and Ivory, issue number 24 of 1981. They don't give you a month, they just tell you the year. All about the video and putting it together in Montserrat. See, and then there's a London opening of rock show. Ringo weds. Ringo marrying Barbara Bach. So, little artwork on the back. Listening to what the fans said, which I believe was called Sue's Corner. Sue was very involved with Club Sandwich. This one's a whopper. This is probably the thickest issue of Club Sandwich that I own. That's issue number 25, 1981. Paul and Linda drop in. Paul in this issue, Paul's new book, Polaroids, more Buddy Holly Week, and just a ton of content in this one. Try to show you a little bit of it here. More Buddy Holly Week stuff. Advertisements. There's another advertisement for Rock Show. Pictures. Okay. We Shoot for the Star. There's an advertisement for the film company that Paul used to record all the videos, Keefco. That's pretty cool. A lot of kind of Christmas wishes here from everybody. A little more photos. Merry Christmas to everybody. Okay. Cool on the back, though. I love this one. And here's looking to 1982. I love that. That is so cool. More Tug of War, issue number 26. Yeah, this is the one on Tug of War. And in this issue, you got a big poster of the album as well. And a little cool little write-up on the back there about the cooler, which obviously was because Paul was helping Ringo with his 3 tracks for Stop and Smell the Roses. So the cooler was put on MPL Productions. It's on YouTube. Check it out. Issue number 27. More Tug of War, 1982. See, real. You got a lot of good content if you're a McCartney fan. Back to work. So again, more work on Linda. Yeah, some more artwork on the back. Birthday celebrations. There's Barbara Bach, Ringo, Paul, Linda, George Martin. Looks like Steve Gadd in the background, and Eric Stewart. Yeah, so what they were doing then. Christmas 1982, issue number 28. Obviously, that's a scene from Broad Street, which was in production here right now. The holiday issue, Paul's new film, Beatles Anniversary, Buddy Holly, Humphrey Ocean, who you know is the artist who did the artwork for the interior sleeve of Wings at the Speed of Sound, and a review of 82. Very, very fruitful period for Paul, working on releasing Tug of War, filming Broad Street, and also working on Pipes of Peace at the same time. This one's a really kind of cool one. It's kind of laid out a little differently. This is issue number 29 from 1983. A Royal Night Out. There's Paul and Linda with the Queen. An exclusive. Okay, a lot of features on Linda's artwork. A new McCartney album, which obviously we knew became Pipes of Peace. And there's the back. Linda's show in Paris. Okay, more star-studded stuff here in issue number 30 from 1983. Okay, Just Awards. There they are. MJ, George, Paul, and Linda. And this was the awards for the British Phonographic Industry Awards from that same year. Now, probably one of my favorite covers of all of them is Christmas of 83. I absolutely love this one. Christmas of 83, issue number 31, just says peace. And it's got the Christmas kind of colors, Pipes of Peace. You know, obviously Paul from Pipes of Peace on there. The Michael Jackson story, Say, Say, Say. So I really just love this cover. This is one of my favorite issues of Club Sandwich as well. Okay, then we take a jump in my collection of Club Sandwiches and we skip all the way to the late 80s, and because that's just what I have. And this is issue number 52, and now we're jumping to the Flowers in the Dirt era. This is issue number 52, so this is about My Brave Face. And the paper quality changed too by this time. The 80s issues and the ones before that were very shiny and like slick. Now they seem like they were kind of printed on maybe like recycled paper here and throughout. Although again, a few in the late 90s do change. So this is that little back page there, little fan artwork. and a Russian album offer. There's the offer to get the Russian album if you belonged to the Wings Fun Club, which it was still known as in the 80s. I have two of those. Here we go, more Flowers era stuff. Okay, and this is just an issue on Tripping. Looks like the tour, obviously, the Tripping the Live Fantastic Tour. Issue number 54, spring of 1990. Nebworth, obviously, was on MTV. Macamania, a nice shot of Paul on stage back there in his 1989 attire. Little tape-up job there. Okay. Cool cover for the next one. I know my podcast partner will not like it, but I think he'll like the cover anyway. There it is. Issue number 65, the spring of 1993. Yeah. Obviously, yeah, and a lot of these club sandwiches really focused on the video. If there was a video to go along with the album or the song, sometimes you got an issue dedicated just to the video, or talking, or a decent chunk of it. And there's the back, Paul on tour. Doesn't say where though. Nope. Two of these, and then the last two that I have. Probably, again, two of my more favorite ones. And then they went back to high glossy color for these. And I just showed this on an episode we just did, so I had it out recently. And that's the one on Flaming Pie. Really nice issue. Spring of 97, issue number 82. Nice shot of Paul there on the back in that Flaming Pie mode. Just do a couple of page turns here. Yep, there's the making of the video of The World Tonight, which we talked about on our episode. A little breakdown on who plays what on each song on Flaming Pie. Mark Lewison witnesses the final session for Flaming Pie. So that's a little write-up because Mark was still heavily involved with Paul at the time. Got a Flaming Pie timeline here. Kind of going back early 1970s, writes Great Day. So all chronicled very well. So good issue. And then the last one that I own is also from 97. And this is when our kid was knighted. Yes, sir. And this issue celebrates 20 years of Club Sandwich. This is issue number 81, 1977 to 97. And this issue covers Paul getting knighted, which obviously we know Linda wasn't at. She was ill. And there's some more Flaming Pie stuff. Little teaser on the bottom. And we look forward to a flaming summer. I'll say. So that's it. Those are my collections of my collection of club sandwiches and some of the those mini Japanese LP replicas that I've had over the years. I don't have a full set of them because they were expensive back in the day, and probably at least $30 a piece. So I would kind of pick and choose as I saw them. I'm always on the hunt for club sandwiches, and if I see more anywhere, I snap them up, but I really haven't. And again, a special thank you to Dr. Michael Brocken, formerly of Liverpool Hope University, because he gave me those. And yeah, they helped me with my paper, but I needed more periodicals and articles from journalists who were writing negatively about Paul, which I found when I did my research. And if anybody ever is interested in reading my dissertation on Wings that I wrote for that, just shoot me an email under the Two Legs email, twolegspodcast@gmail.com, and I'd be happy to pass a copy along to you. I'm very proud of it. Because I do feel that there was a bias against Paul based on the acrimony of the split and what he did to legally dissolve. So I think critics tended to favor John because of that. And obviously now we know that was the right decision, and the critics have reappraised McCartney's early work, like Ram and now Red Rose Speedway, which was my idea for the whole dissertation and the thesis in the first place. So yeah, I'd be happy to share it if anybody wants to read it. And that's going to do it for me. So we'll see you on the next installment of Two Legs. Check out my partner Tom for his latest video, which he did a couple days ago as well. And you can check out my other channel, The Other Leg, Andy's Music Vault, where I talk about music, everything else outside of the Beatles and Paul. I've got 2 episodes up right now, one on Procol Harum and a 2-parter on Bob Dylan, one by myself and one with a good friend of mine, Bob Davison, and a part 3 coming soon featuring Dylan Seavey. So stay tuned and we'll see you next time. Bye. I'm not done quite yet, am I? A little bit of a postscript as a part of this installment because I forgot. There was a few other things I wanted to show. I remember this the other day when I was recording. I said, I had these other things I wanted to show. Definitely things that I bought longer than yesterday. Probably 25 years ago or more. Those of you that have followed the show know that I'm pretty passionate about the mid-1990s period with the Beatles anthology. I was a teenager then, so I really, really wrapped up. I went crazy when they got back together. I loved it. It was incredible, soaking all that up. And I remember thinking when Freeze a Bird came out and hearing it, my father saying to me, this excitement is how it felt every time a Beatle record came out. So you first generation fans, it's, amazing to have lived through all those great records. But some of the things I kept from that time, because the Beatles, the media in 95, they were everywhere. So I kept everything. You guys remember TV guides, Beatles 95. I remember just like snapping all of it up, covering, this is, I don't know if anybody still has this one, but it was the rage everywhere in 95. Even kept a little TV week for my little local paper. See, November 25th, 1995 was like, I'm set. Like, where am I going? He used to make these to go find listings to watch stuff. Yeah, look at that. See? What was on that night? Who? All in the Family, Night Court, MASH. See? All good television. The Late Show with Dave Letterman. Who was the guest? Matt LeBlanc. 1990s at its finest. Kept a couple other things here. TV View, see? Yesterday and Today. That's a New York publication from the Daily News. One of the cool real things, Life did a special in 95 for this as well, from Yesterday and Today. All you need is $3.95. All you need is $3.95. And this had some really cool pictures in it, obviously just kind of covering everything, but one cool photo in this thing that I really love, if I can pull it up here. One of my favorite photos of the Threedles, this one. Absolutely love this photo. It was just so great to be, a Beatle fan in the 1990s, seeing all this stuff. Of course, this classic photo here as well. On the back, even an advertisement for Ford. Meet Ford's Fab Five. It just, the Beatles were everywhere in 95 and 96, and it was just it was awesome. Two great songs we got out of it. I was even stuck in here. Look, a Beatle Fest catalog for the year 2000. What could you get then? Oh, the Bruce Spicer books were in here. $110 for the slipcase of the Beatles story on Capitol Records. It's a hell of a lot more now. It's funny the things you keep and you have and you hold on to. Also, a couple more little paper things here as well. In 2000, if anybody remembers, ABC, kind of to tie into the book publication of the anthology, the book version, ABC did another kind of short series, anthology style, called The Beatles Revolution. Anybody remember that? Not as big as the anthology, but I remember it being pretty well advertised. And TV Guide, again, did a little promotional thing with all their TV guides. And they released 5 actually, different TV guides with each Beatle on the cover. John, Ringo, George, and Paul. All from November of 2000. And these were collectible. I remember getting them all at the time. And they did a special collector's one, too. A White Album TV guide. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah. But they did a White Album TV guide as well. Looks even got the number on it, too. Hold on. There you go. So those are just some cool kind of 1990s publications that I've kept because it's been near and dear to me. Now, moving forward with some recent publications. Two things that I actually just did buy, relatively speaking, yesterday. A couple days ago, anyway. 2 great new books. One published by a good friend of ours, Owen Ling, who's been on 2 legs. And Owen has just published another book of his, and this book is called George Harrison in the 70s. And it's published by Sonic Bomb Publishing, about 120 pages, just tackling George's career in the 1970s. I'm about halfway through it. Very, very concise read, some nice photos. I'm up to about Dark Horse right now. And Owen's take and analysis of George Harrison has really opened my eyes to some music and an album that I never really thought much of until a few months ago, and that was Extra Texture, an album I really didn't like. But seeing Owen's passion for it and hearing him talk about it on various podcasts and reading about it briefly in here, he's a big fan, and I can see why. It's a really good record. The answers at the end, World of Stone, and one of my favorites, Can't Stop Thinking About You, which I didn't even know until a few months ago. So pick this one up, folks. It's a nice, concise, quick read. If you want to learn a little bit more about George in the 1970s, very well written, and congratulations to Owen on this book, because it's a good one to have. Another one that I did not know that was out there. I saw, what did I see? I saw, was it? Oh, I forget who shared it on Facebook, but never mind. It was it was Ken. Ken Womack shared this. And this one looks really interesting. This is Lennon, the Mobster, and the Lawyer, The Untold Story by Jay Bergen. And this book tackles just the entire Roots lawsuit that John had against Morris Levy to stop the release of the unauthorized Roots album, which John later did as Rock and Roll. And this book, it just covers the trial. There's the transcripts are in here from the court case, and I'm fascinated by this book because I've read all the Lennon bios, the big ones, the not so big ones, but something as specific as this, a case study into something as specific as this is what I really love to jump in for. Aspects of John's life, or any of the solo Beatles really, that's just one area that has not really been tackled before, other than the biographies, which most of us have all read. But something as specific as this, and it's like, about 300 some odd pages, just tackling the case, the lawsuit, how Jay Bergen came to, represent John and kind of go through that whole trial against Morris Levy, which goes back to Abbey Road and Come Together, which Morris Levy sued John because he thought it was a little ripoff of, the Chuck Berry song. So John recorded 3 songs and back and forth. And I just came the other day, and I cannot wait to dive into this book. It's part of the Great Music book series, and it's published by DeVault Graves. And it's got a nice little write-up on the back here from Michael Lindsay Hogg. He says, an unlikely but true riveting story of how John Lennon had to take the witness stand and explain how his records were made. Why? To get out of a sleazy mob scam. He won the high-stakes case with the advice and growing friendship of his lawyer, who did not have long hair and who wore a tie. HBO, where are you? I love that quote. So, yeah, Lennon, the Mobster, and the Lawyer, The Untold Story by Jay Bergen. Thank you, Ken Womack, for enlightening me about this one. I cannot wait to dive into this one. And that's it. That's the little postscript for me for this installment of things we bought yesterday and today. Also, stay tuned to the channel because in the next day or two, my podcast partner has got some great news today. I'm recording this on Thursday night. He is going to be seeing Paul McCartney tomorrow night in Southern California, and it's going to be incredible. So congratulations, Tom. And we will probably post a reaction video at some point this weekend, in addition to our regular show that we have dropping on Saturday, which is episode 166, which is our interview with James Campion about his book about Hey Jude. So yeah, really exciting for Tom to go see Paul, and it all just came together very quickly today. So I'm happy and excited for him, and I can't wait to hear his take on how the show is. And he's sitting rather close too. So stay tuned to the channel, and we'll see you on the next installment of Things We Bought Today. Bye.